taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Dr. Chad on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Hope everyone's doing well. We've had a pretty decent sized drop, but the dip's getting bought up a little bit here. Nasdaq actually was green just a minute ago. It's dipped back into the red as we come into the opening bell here in about 2.5 minutes. Currently, S&P is down 34, NASDAQ down 60, Russell down 21, Dow down 410. Gold and silver are both up. Gold's up almost 3%, silver's up a little over 2%. Notes and bonds are down again. 10-year yield has been skyrocketing from under 3.9. Touched 4.5 today, this morning. It's currently at 4.374. Oil's down 4%. Natty gas up almost 1%. All the grains are a little bit green. Euro is up over 1%. Pound is pretty flat. Continuing to see relative weakness in the U.S. dollar. Bitcoin is pretty flat. Almost 77,000 is the current level. VIX up just a little bit, sitting at 52.66. Expected move in SPX yesterday was 118. Looks like it's going to be around... Currently, it looks like it's going to be about 164 as we move towards the bell. You guys hear me okay? See my screen okay? All good? Audio, video, all good? Cool. Thank you, Watson. Good morning, Moel. Abash. As far as individual stocks go, Amazon just pushed green. AVGO is the strongest stock on my board again, as it was all day yesterday. Delta Airlines is also up 2.5%. IONQ is green. Walmart's green. Tesla is up 1.25%. PLTR is green. SMCI is green. Chinese stocks getting hit the worst so far. Hit the most. There is the opening bell. Yeah, so SPX expected to move 163.3. NDX expected move 450.2. Yeah, so NASDAQ is chopping around unchanged. S&P is still a little bit red. We are in between our pre-market high and pre-market lows on the indices. All three are above their yesterday's low. Robinhood trying to go green, GameStop going green. Bitcoin is pushing up. Coinbase going green, Tesla's getting greener. Nvidia getting a little bit stronger, everything's moving up a little bit. Apple's green, Meta trying to go green, Microsoft just went green. As far as the sectors go, metals are up. Actually, I said Chinese stocks are down. BABA is actually up 2.5%. Baidu and PDD were down. SMH is the strongest sector, followed by XLK, which is tech, and then cryptos. All the others red. Financials are red. Real estate and healthcare are the weakest. AVGO is getting close to its pre-market highs. So is SMCI. All the big boys are green or unchanged. So in the S&P and NASDAQ futures, we flushed yesterday's lows and bounced. We did not get below Monday's lows. Russell, I believe, did. Yeah, Russell pushed below Monday's lows as well before it bounced. NASDAQ tech, definitely the strongest here. GameStop is pumping, up 2%. MSTR is up over 4% as well. So MSTR, the strongest of the cryptos. GameStop price action is the strongest since the open. It's well above its pre-market highs, whereas MSTR is not. S&P tried to go green. Good morning, JG. Lando, did you ever get in touch with Bruce about his NCAA tournament winnings? I never heard from him in the chat. Okay, cool. All right, Apple's staying strong. Microsoft staying strong as far as the two strongest of the big boys. Microsoft getting close to its pre-market high. Ah, there he is. Oh, okay, I didn't see your post in Chad's chat. Congrats, Bruce. All right, S&P trying to go green again. See if it can break out. Apple pushing above its pre-market high, and as is Microsoft. Oh, wow, that's awesome. All right. Indices are green, including the Russell and the Dow. NASDAQ approaching its pre-market highs. QQQ. Apple pushing, Microsoft pushing. NASDAQ up over 1%. Just quick 200-point move in NASDAQ. Quick 50-point move in S&Ps. Microsoft paused for a second at its pre-market highs and took off again. Coinbase still pushing. Hood pushing, MSTR pushing. Bitcoin's now up 1.2%. Wow. Coming in hot this morning. Bulls are coming in hot. See if anybody's kind of staying weak on this bounce here. Bank of America is down 2% still. Yeah, financials are staying weak. I'm going to put Bank of America on my screen here. On my other one of my other boards, not on the main monitor here, but I'm going to watch a couple of these financials, Bank of America and Goldman. Might be the ones to short if start to see some weakness. All right, seeing a little pause here. A couple things coming down a little bit. Apple's pulling back to its pre-market highs. Microsoft is staying strong. All right, getting a little reversal on this bar in the indices, and you got some of these stocks coming down: Nvidia, Tesla, Coin, Apple's pulling back. Microsoft is starting to pull back a little bit, but definitely holding up the best. Yeah, Bank of America could not get above yesterday's lows, and it's cratering now. All right, I'm going to take an upside runner in Microsoft. To DTE. Just watching it. I want to make sure it holds here. Make sure that was just a quick fake bounce. Let's see the S&P stay green. Microsoft, I'd be trading the 360 calls. All right, 360 calls in Microsoft, getting in. Filled at 790. Using that pre-market high as my line in the sand. If I get a 5-minute close below that, I'd be out. Need the S&P to stay green and bounce hard. Oh, did it? Sorry, I put my system audio on for the intro. Let me see if I uncheck this. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Okay, so that's cool. So Chad, FYI, if you just click on your little screen drop down, when you're streaming, there's a check mark. You can have the stream audio on during the intro, and then there's a check mark. You can uncheck it afterwards. All right, so Microsoft's holding. S&P dipped red, but right at unchanged still. I would get out of some of my Microsoft at highs of day if it pops back up there. I don't have a profit target in there yet. Just want to make sure it holds here. All right, starting to bounce. I'll put my first profit target at, let's see where $9 puts it. Yeah, $9 is my first profit target, which would be right at highs of day. If we get a quick push. Tesla's starting to pop back up. Yeah, Boeing does. I actually took it off my board a while ago. I don't trade it that much anymore because of that. Yeah, 50 cents wide at the money. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it can definitely move, but yeah, I don't really trade it much anymore. These premiums are seeing some decay. I'm going to move my profit target to 880 in Microsoft. I want to get out if it pushes to highs of day. Come on, pop it. Pop, pop. S&P, nice bounce to stay green. NASDAQ chopping around yesterday, or pre-market highs. Apple holding above pre-market highs after dipping below. Microsoft is getting close. 20 cents away. 15. The way the NASDAQ and the S&P are bouncing, I would have thought it would have popped through highs of day. Getting closer. 10 cents. Hit. Filled at 880. All right, let's rip. S&P and NASDAQ not quite back up to its high of day. Microsoft pushed through, Coin pushed through, Amazon pushed through. So I picked a good horse. I think, do you have them linked? You know the little link button? Make sure they're unlinked. I don't know if that would be the issue. It's this little thing right next to the ticker, Moel. The little chain link thing. So that like if you're clicking through a watch list, it automatically changes your chart. Make sure that's unlinked. I don't know if that would be why, but like if I detach this grid and then I just change the symbols, it won't change both for me, so I'm not sure what that would be. All right, so not a lot of follow through yet. Yeah, so the little chain link button right next to your symbol on your chart. You know, if you change that to red and then you change that link to red on your watch list, it links them. So I don't know if that's it or not. Chip stocks are pretty choppy. Really, Apple, Microsoft, and crypto stocks have kind of made the most decent legs higher initially. Goldman. Definitely a little spike and had a little push through highs of day. It's just in such a choppy range here. I really like to take mighty 90s when they've kind of extended as opposed to being in a range, but certainly got a nice little volume pop. Bank of America flushed its pre-market lows and it's bouncing pretty hard. Looks like financials trying to get stronger here. Financials just went green, XLF. Robinhood pushing through highs. Coin is at highs. Microsoft is kind of pausing at highs. Goldman getting a little rejected at trying to go green. S&P and NASDAQ holding above pre-market highs. I'm going to add in Microsoft. I'm going to use the 362 half calls. Filled at 740. So it's holding up. Like I said, SPY, QQQ are both holding above their pre-market highs. Microsoft's still acting the strongest. So on this little dip, just adding a couple. So I did a 5 lot on the 360s, got out of 3, so I had 2 left, and then I just added 2 on the 362 halves, just to kind of give you a little context of, like, if I add it, because it made that move, I wanted to get the slightly out of the money options. They're a little lower cost, and I added less than half of my original entry. So on my original 360s, I'll put another profit target to get at another one of those at 960. Let's go. Pop it. SPY Q's moving through highs of day. 960 hit. So I've got one of the 360s left, and I still have my 2 adds on the 362 half. So on my 360 call, I'll put in another profit target at 1040. If it really runs, probably adjust that down. If it doesn't hit, Apple finally getting back up to highs of day. Bitcoin popping. Yeah, now financials getting a little strong. Goldman went green. Bank of America back above yesterday's lows. MSTR's pushing, Hood's pushing, Coin's pushing. GameStop is not started off really strong. It's just kind of chopping. Tesla is above its pre-market highs. It's up 5.5%. Nvidia through highs. Crowd extending higher. It's up over 4%. MSTR is up 7.5%. Hood is up 4.5%. Delta Airlines is up 8%. Oil is getting absolutely annihilated pre-market as well. Yeah, still down 3%, but well off of its lows. Oil went from $72 a barrel down to $55 this morning. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I mean, SPY and QQQ themselves would have been great trades right at pre-market highs. But SJ, are you on here? That doesn't look like it. SJ was asking in the day trading chat, I think yesterday, he's like, why not just trade QQQ as opposed to the individual stocks? And I do sometimes. I have, especially recently, I've traded SPY and QQQ, but I really like the aspect of trading relative strength and relative weakness. Microsoft's pretty much mimicking the Qs right now. But so, in this case, trading Qs probably would have worked very similar. Tesla could not hold pre-market highs. So I really like just the aspect of, watching SPY, watching Qs, seeing how they're moving on a bar-to-bar basis, and then finding the stocks that are relatively, if I'm going long, which one or two stocks are relatively showing more strength. So S&P and Q just kind of push, pause, push, pause, push, pause. We're currently in a pause, hopefully followed by another push. So my 362 halves are back down to where I got in. Actually a little bit red now. Apple back to pre-market highs. S&P and NASDAQ also back right at pre-market highs. Getting a little healthy pullback here. Little healthier than I like. I was hoping for one more nice extension higher. I was going to get at them most, if not all. See if we can get this dip bought up quickly. Everything's pulling back. Cryptos. Everything's kind of moving in unison today. Let's see what financials are up to. Yeah, Goldman. Oh, yeah. Bank of America got shut down at yesterday's lows. Goldman got shut down going green. Apple could be a good potential entry here if you want to get long, or Microsoft. Or SPY or QQQ using the pre-market highs. If we can hold, see another rip. That's what I'm looking for. Pretty decent little, I guess pretty similar pullback in Bitcoin. 600 wide, wow. So SPX could not get through 50.50. NASDAQ got shut down at about 17,400 on NDX. VIX, a little pop back up above 50. STR dip down. I'm going to get in MSTR calls, kind of dip down to pre-market highs and held. Trading the 255 calls in MSTR. $255 calls. Getting in. Filled at 1160. So it had already bounced off of its pre-market highs here, but so I'm taking a little bit more risk as far as if it goes against me where I'd get out, but crypto showed that initial strength, a little pullback. Let's see if we have a continuation. Apple's still holding well. Microsoft's still holding well. Put MSTR over here. Need a hold and bounce. Everything's showing a little weakness. Bitcoin's coming down hard now, down to lows of day. MSTR, this bar is most likely going to close a little bit below. I'm going to give it just a minute on that next bar to see what kind of reaction we get. Otherwise, I'm going to cut it pretty quick here. I've got my order ready to cut if it doesn't bounce quickly. S&P came right down to unchanged, so let's see if ES wants to stay green here. Tried to bounce, but not very strong. Microsoft and Apple still holding up pretty well. Coin is holding above its pre-market highs. Bitcoin trying to bounce. S&P and NASDAQ look like they're trying to bounce. S&P staying green for now. Amazon bouncing. MSTR, not much of an aggressive bounce here. Looking weaker than Bitcoin on this current bar. Bitcoin looks like it's trying to bounce, but MSTR's bounce is not as strong. Coin's stronger as well. S&P, pretty choppy 100-point range today. Low of around 49.50, high around 50.50. All right, MSTR, you have 30 seconds to bounce. Everything's trying to, looks like it's trying to bounce. All right back up to right below my level. Still got my finger on the trigger. Bitcoin's starting to bounce. Come on. Come on. Microsoft starting to bounce. Everything getting a little bouncy. Amazon looks like it wants highs a day. Well, getting whack-a-moled. All right, I'm out. Trying to get out. Oh my gosh. All of a sudden my toss is moving slow. Filled at 885. Yee. S&P still green. Microsoft's still holding up well. Yep, still Microsoft. Yeah, I'm definitely wasn't gonna plan on holding anything too long. I was looking for one more leg up, really, in Microsoft, and then I was gonna be pretty much gone, except for maybe like one lot runner. Oh, thanks, MSTR. Look at you. Look at you. All right, right back up to my level here. I might get back in MSTR. Give it a minute. I want to see this hold. Nice bounce in Bitcoin. MSTR is not a lot of follow through here. Microsoft almost popped back up to highs of day, but no follow through. Tesla can't get back above pre-market highs. Nvidia's right there. All right, come on, Softy. It's my pet name for Microsoft whenever I want it to do something nice for me. Call him Softy. Man, it's just like it feels like it wants to break out, but it's just being held back. Something's holding it back. I don't know what it is. Baba is through yesterday's lows, getting weaker. Goldman stayed red. Bank of America chopping near lows of day. You guys in anything else? Lando, Chad, you guys in anything? Oh, wow. AMD, yeah. That's a nice one. That thing really took off. Was not paying attention to that one. That's definitely the strongest chip stock. All right, see if MSTR can give it another go. Q's holding above their pre-market high.
So we're 1 hour into the day here.
SPY a little below it. Pretty choppy. Pretty choppy. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I am in Microsoft. If we get a pop through highs of day, I'll scale out of more. And probably do that pretty quickly unless we just have some really nice momentum going. Otherwise, I'm still going to watch Bitcoin, Coinbase, MSTR. For potential trade. I like the price action. It's kind of holding. Most of these are holding above their pre-market highs. Well, starting to get a little pop here. Apple going to highs of day. Hang on. Let's see if we get anything follow through here. See if we can get a little Momo going. S&P and NASDAQ kind of trying to break out of the recent past 20-minute consolidation. SPY back above pre-market high. All right, I'm going to get back in MSTR. 255 calls. Filled at 1048. Need Bitcoin back to highs of day. Apple through highs. Starting to see some momentum. Tesla back up through pre-market highs. QQQ and SPY starting to push a little bit. AMD, no choppy pause. It's just been kind of pretty straight up. Come on. Let's get a little follow through here, kids. Everybody through highs a day. Still have my order in Microsoft on that last 360 call. Orders at 1040. It's currently trading at 940. I'm going to bring that down to $10. Yeah, Apple kind of all of a sudden leading the pack. Coinbase getting up towards highs of day. I would have liked to see Microsoft continue to lead, but Chuck, is more VIX result in more or less market move? I'm not sure I understand your question, but VIX measures the price of the at-the-money options in SPX 30 days out. So if the options in SPX 30 days out are more expensive, that's why the VIX is higher. VIX is an index that measures that. So if the options are more expensive, then the expected move is larger. There's more uncertainty in the market. All right, getting a little pullback here. No follow through. Does that make sense, Chuck? You are welcome. Well, thought maybe we had a little Momo going, but give it a few more minutes here and then we'll wrap it up. Wow, Moel. 1 DTE up $1,000 on 2 lots. 600 wide. How wide were your wings? Oh, looks like Moel may have dropped off already. Well, is that all she wrote, or are we going to get a little dip and rip? Oh, there we go. So 100 wide. 600 between the shorts, 100 wide wings. Beautiful. Today's the 9th. We do have FOMC meeting minutes released at 1 p.m. Central today. And they're showing a 10-year bond auction with medium impact at noon Central. So we'll see if those move anything. All right, all. I'm going to jump off here. MSTR needs to hold its pre-market highs, which is essentially that 250-ish level. Microsoft needs to hold its pre-market highs, which is basically the 358 and change level. If I get a 5-minute close below either of those, I'll be out. Otherwise, I will scale on the way up. All right, all. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Talk to you soon.